beautiful beasties. Welcome to Stace and Barry in the morning. It's season 3, episode 10. There was a big gap. Don't look at the gap. Pretend it never happened. We were here the whole time. That's right, we were here the whole time. I'm the Stace half of Stace and Barry in the morning, and joining me on our cosy morning sofa with a giant sausage sandwich, bacon sandwich, I don't know what his preference is, it's the delightful Barry Nugent.
Me! It's me.
Are you... Go on.
What?
I was going to say, are you a sausage man or are you a bacon man?
I feel there's something wrong with that conversation and I don't know why. So
I don't mean sausage as in Willie's. I just mean actual, like if you were having a sausage sandwich for breakfast or a bacon sandwich, or are you a sausage and bacon man, like a rebel?
No, I'm a bacon man, but I have been known to. I won't turn my nose up at a bacon and sausage sandwich. But bacon's always the first port of call.
I say I'm a sausage gal all the way. I love a good sausage. Hey, you're right. This does sound like an innuendo. How you doing, Barry? Don't
I
take
feel like
the
I've
sentence.
just walked onto the set of a new Carry On film.
No, somebody's just going to crop out that bit where I say, "Oh, I'm a sausage gal, I am," and just have it as like a sad little soundbite of a weirdo.
I start calling you Babs Windsor. Oh, matron.
Oh, matron. Hey, how's it been going, Mr. Nuge Cake?
It's been going great. Yeah, it's been great.
Guys, we had a bit of life that got in the way. Life found a way to be an arsehole.
Yeah.
That's why we were gone for a
break because life's been shit.
Because life was like, oh, do you know what you guys need in the middle of a pandemic? Other shitty issues.
Yeah.
And we were like, cool, thanks, life.
Thanks, life.
Handed us a bunch of lemons and we didn't know what to do with them.
Yeah, I had a few ideas. Shoving them where the sun don't shine, up life's arse.
Oh, life. Hey, but we're here now. We're back. It's us. We're back with, you know, energy and vigour and vim and that. Other words that begin with V that mean that we're raring to go.
And vampirism, that doesn't work.
Definitely that. To be fair, with the way that my body now reacts to sunlight since I've been trapped in the house for so long, I legit might be. This isn't a joke. I am allergic to the sun now.
Okay.
Polymorphic light disruption or something like that it's called.
Wow.
And it means when you go outside and then you come back in and then a bit later you're just covered in a blotchy rash.
Oh, great. Another useful superpower to add to the list.
But do you want to hear some vaguely relevant news from the world of the Stace?
That'd be nice.
It would, wouldn't it? If we were on topic and shit. You know, last episode when you were like talking about the Legend of La Mariposa and you were like, Stace, why haven't you read the first book yet, you giant dillhole? Yes. I don't think you said those exact words, but
I thought them.
That was the gist, yeah, that was the gist. I read it now.
Yes!
It's good. It's amazing, you were right, it's flipping marvellous. And then I immediately went and did a little Kickstarter of the new book, and I got excited when there was a reward tier that has an enamel pin on it, because I collect enamel pins. So I was like, oh, fortuitous life stuff. And now I'm very excited about receiving the second book. So yeah, well done, Barry, for a good recommendation.
Thank you. Just wait until you get the second book. All I'm saying, back goat. That's all I'm saying.
Back goat? Oh, you didn't warn me about the fucking spider dude, though, did you arse honker?
Was there a spider dude in there?
One of the demons was like a spidery guy, and he climbed all over a big old web, and it was just...
Oh, well, in that case, apologies. I must have skipped over those pages. Or just having such a good time, I just blanked them out of my mind.
Just blotted it entirely from your memory. Oh, well.
Yeah.
There's a fair warning for anybody else who wants to read it. Yeah. Hey, should we do a segment?
She's you. That's all I'm going to say. She's you. And if
I'm very flattered.
Or a animated show, they should get you to do the voice. I know she's supposed to be Mexican, but you can make that work.
Oh, I really couldn't.
Yeah, maybe
oh, it'd be offensive.
Yeah, good point.
Not on purpose. It'd be accidentally offensive, but yeah, it's not. It wouldn't be a good idea. Offensive. Yeah. I mean, I'm very flattered.
Stacey's performance in The Legend of La Mariposa was brilliant, if not accidentally offensive. The sun.
Yeah. 2 stars. We're not sure what to make of it. It seems well intentioned, but
accidentally offensive. The Guardian.
That's going to be the name of my biography if I ever write one.
That would be great.
I've got to do something first, haven't I? But
accidentally offensive.
The Life and Times of Stacey Taylor.
And in my head, I just see it. It's just on the front cover of the hardcover, because it'd be a hardcover. It'd be a picture of you accidentally pushing an old man down a flight of stairs.
With a look on my face that's like, whoops. Did I do that?
Kids, if you're listening, don't push old people downstairs. It's not big and it's not clever.
Don't push any people down the stairs.
Or any people, this is true.
Unless they really deserve it. Unless it's life giving out all of its fucking lemons. Yeah, give that a good punt.
Yeah, unless it's life. Give life a good kick down the stairs.
Straight punt it down the stairs. Let's do a segment, shall we?
Trumpet me, woman. I miss those trumpets.
Oh, I'm sure you have.
I have.
That sounds like a euphemism too. Hey, Barry, what was your pick of the fortnight, baby?
Why is it whenever I have to do this stupid pick of the fortnight thing, I've never got one pick?
You still haven't talked about DuckTales.
Just don't. DuckTales is gonna have to wait now. No,
You can do it. Come on, Barry.
I'm gonna do it. So, I've done the rewatch. Right. Okay. So what we've been doing during the pandemic is we've been doing lots of rewatches of things. Mm-hmm. So we did and again, I will recommend people doing it because it's great Sunday evening entertainment. So we started off by watching all the Marvel movies in chronological order. Mm-hmm. Every Sunday we'd watch a Marvel movie. That's now finished, and we were like, "Oh, what can we watch now?" And Sue came up with a great idea, and she said, "Let's rewatch all the Fast and the Furious films."
Okay.
Now, I don't know. We've never spoken about it, so I don't know where you stand on Fast and Furious. I don't even know if you've seen the Fast and Furious films.
So I've seen a handful of them, and I don't know which ones, but I know it's not like a chunk that's in a sensible order. So I know I've seen Hobbs and Shaw, which is technically like Fast and Furious adjacent.
Yes.
And I know I saw the last 2. So is that 7 and 8?
Yeah.
And I know I've seen the first one. And I'm fairly certain I've seen at least 2 in the middle.
Okay. So you've seen, let's just say you've seen a number of Fast and Furious films. You're aware of the franchise.
Yeah, I've experienced enough of them to get it, yes.
Yes, okay. So we've been rewatching them. Well, actually, we are currently about halfway through Hobbs and Shaw at the moment, which I've already seen anyway. Mm-hmm. And I've got to say, a lot of people don't like these films, and I'm sorry, but I love them. I love them because they're just fun. I can literally just put my feet up and just enjoy fast cars and people going smoke 'em. And Vin Diesel just being Vin Diesel basically.
Yeah.
And just talking in a gravelly voice going smoke 'em.
Yeah, I don't understand people that. Well, no, okay, that's a fib. I understand people that don't like them because I can totally understand if that's not your type of movie.
Yeah,
what I don't get is people who rag on them as though they don't know exactly what they are. Like people act like, "Oh God, you couldn't get a car to do that. That's ridiculous." And you're like, mate, the filmmakers aren't like trying to, do the pinnacle of realism in car drivery. What they're trying to do is fucking fun as shit stunts all over the fucking place. That's what they want to do. They want to drive a car up a wall, through a window, out the other side. They want to put it on the moon. They want to do it on ice. If
you want to have a film where you've got cars outrunning a nuclear submarine, then I'm all for that all the day long.
Yeah. I just don't get people that are like, "Oh, well, it's just not, I don't see how it's, interesting." And it's like, mate, it's hella fucking fun.
Well, the thing is as well, is like, so what I've discovered doing these rewatches of franchises. It's actually how some of them are actually quite well put together.
Yeah.
And with the Fast and the Furious one, I was expecting it to not fall into that category of being, oh, these are actually quite well put together story. But actually, having watched them one after the other in quick succession, I'm like, oh, there's actually some continuity here that I hadn't seen before.
See, I think I need to watch them all like in order because I haven't got any sense of like that story or anything. Or that, and to be honest, that the one bad thing I will say about the ones I have seen is it is an absolute travesty what they did to Charlize Theron's hair in that one that she was in. Oh, what a bad idea! Absolute bad idea.
Yeah. But you see that one, which is the one we watched on Sunday. That was the one that I kind of watched quite a way after I'd seen the other ones because I hadn't really seen them all in order and stuff like that. But watching them in order, I'm like, there's actually a lot of stuff that links back that I hadn't realised. And also, like, because obviously in real life, Paul Walker died, didn't he?
Yeah.
He was like, and it actually really hits you quite hard if you're watching them in order, you know. And you can kind of see the scenes where they kind of talk about him. Where obviously they know now that he's actually died and whatever. You can't really, you know, the acting's not it's not the best acting in the world, but in those scenes you can see that it's genuine emotion about that they've lost.
Yeah.
And it is quite sad because he was cracking in it, and he knew how to throw down. I have to say, so some people really do get hurt in those films. There's just a lot of that guy's not getting up again ever.
Yeah.
And the other thing as well, I thought there was a lot more CG in it. And watching them again, there's a hell of a lot of practical stunt work going on, which meant that a lot of the stunts, even from the earlier films, have aged pretty. Yes, they're ridiculous and all the rest of it, but they've aged pretty well because they're not CG.
Yeah.
So I've just had loads of fun. It's just been so much fun.
Have you seen the new one yet, or are you waiting until you get there chronologically?
Well, technically, I'm nearly there anyway, but I will probably wait for it to come. I mean, I'm not going to run out to the cinema to go watch it.
Yeah.
I'll wait for it to come to streaming. It probably won't be that long, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
Also, I have to say, Jason Statham's entrance in, I think it was Fast 7, best villain entrance.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that one. See, I've got like having seen Hobbs and Shaw, I've got like no concept of the context of that relationship at all.
Oh, okay. And the thing is, as well, is like
this is a laugh.
It's really set up. The Hobbs and Shaw one is really set apart because technically, in the Fast and the Furious main sort of thing, he's a villain.
Yeah.
He's like, when he comes into it, he's like a straight up villain. So, and I feel there's some of the things that they do when you get to Hobbs and Shaw, you got to kind of take with a huge pinch of salt because I'm like, he did some pretty heinous stuff, and suddenly now you're like, oh, it's turned into a buddy cop movie, and now I've got a root for you. Yeah, okay.
Still good fun though.
I
enjoyed that one.
I love them. Yes.
The Hobbs and Shaw has a really great like sort of endings. Well, I say ending, but like, you know, the big sort of thing where The Rock goes back to his family.
Yeah.
And it's just like all of that. Oh, everything that happens on that island is great fun.
Yeah.
It's just like, yes, do a murder.
It's just awesome. So yep. So the Fast and Furious saga, as it's called, apart from 9, is my pick of the fortnight.
Nice. Well, my pick of the fortnight is really depressing, so I apologise in advance.
Okay. See, try to be uplifting. Jeez.
But it's so good that I need more people to watch it so I can talk to them about it. So me and Rich watched a short film called The Amusement Park. Have you heard of this at all?
No.
Okay, so what this is back in the early 70s, the Lutheran Society in America commissioned George A. Romero to make a short film about elder abuse and ageism. So, because they...
Okay.
Yeah, so basically their idea was that they make a little short film that shows how, like, people take advantage of the elderly or treat the elderly like shit or, you know, don't give them their dignity and blah, blah, blah. And the idea was that they'd make this little film and it would raise awareness and they would change the way people are treated and open people's eyes and blah, blah, blah. Why on earth they commissioned George A. Romero to do it, I don't fucking know. But they saw what he made and went, oh, no, that's so fucking disturbing. No. And they scrapped the whole project. And then the film got lost. And then it was found again in 2018, and it's just been like restored and re-released.
Right.
So they've just put it on. I can't remember if it's Shudder or Amazon Prime or both, but it is definitely on some legal streaming service in the UK. I know that much. And it's a short film about an elderly man who goes to an amusement park thinking he's going to have a lully time, and it's just a waking fucking nightmare. Oh my God, it is. So the reason I wanted to draw people's attention to it is because I don't think many people are aware of it, and it is so George A. Romero. It's ridiculous. I've never seen anything that has more perfectly captured like human disarray and confusion. It feels like an episode of the Twilight Zone. Like, you know how the Twilight Zone sometimes you just feel constantly uncomfortable and on edge, like, oh, I don't like it, and you can't even really quite tell why. Like, there's a lot of that in this. It's very uncomfortable, but it is so fucking effective in its messaging of people treating the elderly like shit. But it actually might be a little bit too effective, because when I finished watching it, I was like, I don't ever want to get old. Like, this is horrible. Just like put a pillow over my face when I'm like, I don't know, 55. I don't have to worry about it.
Well, that's lovely. That means I've got, what, 3 years to go?
No, look, mate, right, it's such an interesting thing to watch. Like, if you are somebody who is questioning mortality and stuff, maybe don't watch it because it won't make you feel good. But it is such a like perfect piece of cinema for what it was aiming to do. But the fact that the people that commissioned it were like, oh no, put that in the bin, it's too scary. It's just like, but it's so good. Like, yeah, I can't sell it enough, but also like warn people that be careful going in if you're a bit fragile. But I mean,
that's a great recommendation, but I feel that
but not for you.
I probably won't be watching it.
Yeah,
certainly not this side of 2021.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fair. Like, the fact that it's streaming in 2021 is, like, to me, just the most 2021 thing to happen. It's like the fact that we found this film and restored it now and decided now's a good time to put it out. It's just like a total indictment of where humanity's mental health is at.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things that, like, you have to see it to understand why it's so good. But also, I would say approach with caution, because it's not going to be right for everybody right now.
But if you do watch it and you do find it bleak, then maybe afterwards you can stick on one of the Fast and Furious films.
Yeah, or like, I don't know, chuck on a Mortal Kombat, that'll sort you out.
Just take the edge off.
Godzilla versus Kong, that's well fun as well.
Yeah.
Yes, that was my pick of the fortnight.
Wow.
I'm very sorry.
It's okay.
But also, I'm kind of knocked. It is really good. Let's do some more trumpets. Jazz. Musical musings, B. Do you want to say some words? Because I feel like my voice has decided to not.
Yes, I can say some words.
Thank you.
Anti-establishment. There you go.
Say more words than that.
Okay. So my musical musing is quite apt because we're going to then move on to talk a little bit about the show, which gives Stace a massive clue as to what a musical musing is.
I had a feeling you were going to pick something here, which is why I picked something else.
Because I had a feeling you might have picked it, and then I would have picked it, and we'd be like, boom, we're in sync with our musical musings.
We sort of were, but then I decided to err on the side of giving people more music to listen to.
Sod them.
Rude.
I know. So I have picked from Loki, which is the latest show on Disney Plus, the latest Marvel show. I've picked a track called TVA, which is from like the main. Well, certainly for the first sort of 3 episodes, it was the sort of credits theme. And this score is by Natalie Holt, who I've never listened to before, but she's certainly on my radar now because I've listened to the full volume, or well, what they released was, I think it was just episodes 1 and 3, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's cracking. It's
really
it's a really good album, and I love the way they keep reusing this TVA score, kind of blends through the album, and it's just it's really impactful, quite bassy, and I really like it. Obviously, I'll get onto thoughts on the show, which may not necessarily gel with my thoughts of the album, but we shall see. So that is my pick of the thought. No, that's my musical musing, Loki Volume 1 TVA.
Nice. The thing I really like about this soundtrack, just to throw in my 2 pence, is the way, because like the show is very sort of like futuristic in the sense of the themes it's dealing with, but also kind of traditional in the way that it's presented to you in terms of like the settings and the props and all that sort of stuff. So I quite like the way that a lot of the songs sound like very traditional sort of orchestra songs, but then occasionally you can hear like, you know, synths and like what I think might be a theremin, I'm not 100% sure, just like wangling in with some like eerie futuristic twizzle in there. And a fun fact about Natalie Holt, apparently she once broke onto the stage during a Britain's Got Talent to throw eggs at Simon Cowell. So
nice.
that is a fun fact about Natalie Holt that I enjoy. My musical musing, because I decided not to go with Loki, even though I also have been listening to the album a lot, is a piece of music from a video game. Because Rich recently bought the Final Fantasy VII remake, which I'm probably going to get murdered on the internet for saying that I've never played a Final Fantasy game and I've never seen anybody else play a Final Fantasy game. But for some reason, I keep happening to walk into the living room when Rich is playing the exact same bit over and over again from the Final Fantasy VII remake, which he obviously keeps not completing. But there's a piece of music that happens during that particular scene, and I don't know what it's called in Japanese because I can't read kanji, but it's listed on Spotify as being called Getaway. And it's a piece of music by Nobuo Uematsu. I said that with confidence, but I don't know if that's actually I said I'm very sorry if I've butchered that. And it is basically, you know, in a video game, there's almost always a stage where you've got to get out and you've got to get out now, but then things appear and they're like, how about you have to fight me first? Haha. And you're like, oh no, get out of my life. So it's one of those pieces of music. It's dramatic as fuck. And if I ever get back into exercising, I'm sure if I put that on while I'm on a treadmill, I will shit myself and run super fast. Because it's one of those like sort of oppressive pieces that feels like it's chasing you around. And at about the 4-minute mark, it lulls you into a full sense of security by dropping it down a bit, and then it's just like, haha, you thought you were safe? No such luck, mate, and comes back in with some more, like 2 further minutes of nightmare. So, yeah, Getaway from the Final Fantasy VII remake soundtrack.
Cool.
Thumbs up for Slurpees.
Is the Final Fantasy VII, is this the one with the dude with the big sword? And
it is.
And the black guy with the machine gun arm.
Yep, that's the one.
Yep, that's the only Final Fantasy game I've played, so it was a good shout.
Nice. It looks great from the couple of bits that I've seen of Rich playing it, but I think I might have to like make him sit there and play it so I can watch it, because I'm crap at games and I'll never do it if I have to do it myself. So I'll just watch him play it instead. It'll be fine. But yeah, it's got a very good soundtrack.
Cool. Right, we are at what? 26 minutes. You want to talk Loki for 5 minutes?
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Loki.
Yeah.
Go on.
So, Loki.
Yeah.
New show, Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Loki
exists.
doing stuff.
Yeah.
being sassy stuff. So so I want to say this is the third of the new Marvel shows. It is the third one, isn't it?
It is.
And I have been enjoying I really enjoyed WandaVision. I was a little bit late to the party in terms of getting that enjoyment, but I didn't really enjoy it by the end. I enjoyed Falcon and Winter Soldier all the way through. Just absolutely loved that. Loki, it's okay.
Yeah.
I would say there are moments that I enjoy, but overall it's okay. And I kind of feel I'm almost watching it because it's a Marvel show, so I kind of feel like I need to watch it in case I
Yeah.
miss something.
A lot of people, and I don't know how true it is because obviously people were speculating all sorts of things about WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier as well. But I get the feel like people have been trumpeting about the fact that Loki's going to be very important in the setup of the multiverse for Doctor Strange.
We should say spoilers, by the way.
Oh yeah, spoilers, lads. So like, yeah, for me, I don't know how I feel about that. Firstly, because I think it's a bit unfair to introduce something so whacking great in a show that people have to pay for separately that they might not be able to afford. But anyway, that's a whole other kettle of fish. My biggest problem with Loki is that I feel like there could be an amazing show there, and there's a lot of very, very good ingredients that are making an incredibly mediocre pie. Like, I haven't watched. Spoiler alert, guys! We don't record this on a Saturday. I haven't watched today's episode yet, and I'm not bothered about the fact that I haven't watched it yet because I'm not like chomping at the bit to watch it like I was with WandaVision or Falcon and Winter Soldier, both of which I thought were amazing, pretty much start to finish. Because the thing about Loki is I feel like I want to pick it up and I want to shake it into a story. It's been, has it been 3 or 4 episodes now?
See, that's the thing that I can't.
Maybe 5.
I know. I think it's 4. I think it's just 4 episodes.
Yeah, and it feels to me like they haven't done a lot with that. In the sense of like the first episode was very heavily exposition, which I let it off for because it did have a lot to set up. But then the second episode seemed to be also mostly the same sort of exposition. And then the third episode was just Loki talking to himself for a full episode. And I was like, I get that you're trying to do character development, but do something, someone, please.
I think, given what you said as well, like the premise of it and the setup of it is brilliant. It's a really great. It's a really great idea that you've got this organization set up to monitor the time. You know, what do they call it? The universal timeline. I can't remember now.
Yeah, sacred timeline.
Sacred timeline, and to sort of keep it in check and stuff. I mean, to be fair, I say it's a great idea. It's an idea that's been done many times before. But you know, I quite like the way they do it and some of the quirkiness to it and the whole kind of 60s vibe, even though you've established the fact you're in a universe now with aliens and stuff and everyone that there is human, so it feels a bit weird. But you know, I can go with that if you double down on the wackiness, and it feels like it's saying to me, this is a really wacky show. It isn't really showing me that's a wacky show.
Yeah. I think because to do a little plug for Geek Syndicate, I listened to the episode that you and Dave did where you talked about a little bit about Loki, and you know, you mentioned on there, and I was basically shouting at my phone in agreement, realising halfway through that you couldn't hear me, that the show seems weirdly lack of budgeted compared to the premise. So like the idea that we could be literally anywhere, anywhen with the trickster god of mischief, and what we're getting an office block, and we've had what was a quarry lit very purple, and we've had the inside of one train, and I think in a mall, what looked like a store in a mall, and I think that's all the all the
Yeah.
stuff that it just feels very like we're in a studio, and like I
Yeah.
know they are in a studio, like I get it. Like I'm not an idiot, I know how making things works, but like don't tell me that, you know, oh, Loki could be hiding out in any apocalyptic event anywhere ever, and then take me to a centimetre squared of a street in Pompeii for
Yeah.
2 seconds, and then that be it. like it's like you say, it's not showing me that it's as interesting as it's telling me it is.
Yeah. And I think at least because the Pompeii one, I was just kind of like, oh really? It's like, how many times are we going to use Pompeii? But I quite like the fact that the other one that they went to was an alien planet, and
Yeah.
you know, it was a completely different. It wasn't on Earth, and it was like the moon. This moon's going to crash into it and stuff. I quite like that. But again, I felt like you wasted a whole episode with that, where you could have just had them jumping around, almost like being. You could have a great chase sequence, almost.
Yeah.
Moving from apocalypse to apocalypse whilst they're being chased and stuff. And it just feels like it's some overall. There's an overall grand idea there, but a lot of the way they're doing it is really formulaic.
Yeah. Yeah, it just hasn't grabbed me the way the other two shows have. And I know a lot of people have said, oh, well, you can't compare them because they're 3 very different shows. And yes, they are, but that doesn't mean I'm enjoying this one, though. Like, if I pretend that WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier never existed, that does not increase my enjoyment of Loki at all. And it's a shame because, like, I think Owen Wilson's been fantastic, and I think, you know, Tom Hiddleston's always good value.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I can't remember her name now, but the lady who's playing Sylvie has been really good. Although, like, this is going to sound so terrible. People keep comparing the show to Doctor Who, and it really doesn't help that she's like a blonde, short-haired blonde lass with a bit of a northern accent. No, she reminds me of Jodie Whittaker.
Oh.
Like, so it just makes me think of Doctor Who even more. Like, yeah, and I think the pacing's been really odd as well. Like, I'm not going to spoil it entirely, but something major happened at the end of the last episode that was very sort of like, holy shit, they did that. And then in the mid-credit sequence, they were like, no, they didn't. And I was like, oh, well, you could have left me with that cliffhanger for a couple of days.
I was quite disappointed with that because I kind of thought, and I think that's one of the things that Marvel have always done really well with their sort of mid credits and stuff, where it doesn't necessarily advance the story, but it just gives you another interesting hook.
Yeah.
You know, whereas in this one, it kind of, because I was seeing comments where people were kind of not happy with the ending, and people were sort of going, oh, but have you watched the mid-level credits? And it's almost like they didn't trust the audience enough to leave them with a cliffhanger for a week. So it's only a week.
Yeah. And that would have been a really kick-ass way to start the episode as well. Like, you thought this was a thing. Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't hate it, though. Like, it's still...
No, not at all.
It's still better than a lot of other things that are on TV.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm not hate watching it like a lot of people do with, you know, Doctor Who is a good example of that, of people who just... Well, it hasn't been good since New Who started, but you're still watching it, like, 10 seasons in.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, it's not terrible, but it's also not like, it just definitely hasn't hooked me in the way the other Marvel shows have as yet. And I feel like even if the last couple of episodes are like, you know, balls to the wall amazing, I'm still probably going to be a bit annoyed that the journey was so shit to get there. But yeah. Oh well, can't have everything, can we?
On that cheery note.
Oh, we love you, everybody.
Yeah.
It's good to be back.
It's good to be back, and hopefully we'll be a bit more cheerier next episode.
I'll try to watch something that's not depressing.
Yeah.
Oh, go watch DuckTales. That's fun.
Yeah, go watch DuckTales. I won't be talking about that. And I forgot to talk about Castlevania, but I'll talk about that next time.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'll have to send you a stupid Castlevania-related song that might entertain you vaguely. Anyway, it's... Castlevania is the one with what's his name? Simon Belmont, isn't it? Who like goes around doing a murder of like
Or
Draculas and that.
Trevor Belmont. I mean, I don't really know the games. I'm talking about
Okay.
the Netflix show. She's
Ah,
quality.
okay. Spoilers for the next episode.
Yeah. Wait for the mid-credit scene.
Oh God, what if we started doing mid-credit sequences to our podcast? It'd be absolute garbage, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
People would be like, why am I still listening to this? What is wrong with my life?
Yeah.
Anyway, if you want to get in touch with us, drop us a tweet at Geek Syndicate and at Stacey's Parlour. You can send us an email at staceandbarry@gmail.com. You can join the Geek Syndicate or Stacey's Parlour Facebook groups, or both. You don't have to do either or.
No.
that is weird. And yeah, we love you, and hopefully we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Back on schedule.
Woo!
Bye all.
Bye everybody. Bye.